He might not be from Krypton, but he's heads above the rest. His knowledge can't be questioned. You can put it to the test. So if you want to hear the truth and have nowhere else to go, I'll give you the solution. Just tune into his show and just kneel before Zod. Kneel before Zod. Kneel before Zod. Kneel before Zod.
Hi, welcome everybody to the Phantom Zone. It is the most earth-breaking, ground-shaking, but never media show money-taking, the man, the myth, the legend, the most electrifying villain in YouTube entertainment today. So I had an announcement, but unfortunately, the Father's Odd might be on later, but it's not going to be right now. My family just got some personal news that they wanted me to share with everyone. So I'm going to share it with you guys here tonight. If you don't know much about my channel, if you look at my playlist, I talk about the WWE and the terrible things that they did to some of their workers. Well, my uncle was one of those people who had something happen to them when they worked for the WWE. And tonight we just got the news that he is no longer with us. He took his own life, and Father Zod is pretty devastated by the news. I'm in shock and disbelief, and I don't want to start things out on a sad note, but I had to get that out there because my uncle talked to my father literally just hours ago while I was on another stream. And after their phone conversation, he did this. Yeah, I'm sorry to start things off like this, folks. I don't like to start off on a sad note, but the WWE is a horrible, horrendous company, and I am going to make it my sole mission to destroy them with every opportunity that I get. What they've done to my family personally and numerous other families is disgusting. There is a reporter who will be coming on next week to talk about this, and he is breaking the news tonight, so my family is going to be in the papers. You'll recognize Father Zod's name because he uses it here on the channel, but our story will be in the paper, and yeah. So it's kind of a little bit of a different way to start this off than I wanted to. I had some other news and I pushed that a little bit to the back. I normally am a person who knows what to say when I come on here. I know the words to articulate. Unfortunately, I just literally got this news myself, so I haven't had a good time to process this, but I'm pretty upset. I'm pretty angry. And my uncle was a great guy. When I was a kid, he took me to see Lord of the Rings. It was the Two Towers, and I'm hypoglycemic, and he used that so that we can sneak food into the theater. Never forget it. He made the theater guy nervous. He joked a lot. He was a very happy guy. He's kind of like Father Zod and my personalities. Anyone who met him or talked to him had a great time. He had 2 beautiful daughters, and my heart and my prayers go out to my aunt and to her daughters. And it's definitely not the way I wanted to open it up, but my uncle wanted me to get this out here. It's peculiar because his last thing he said to my father before he hung up the phone was that if anything happens to me, I want you to bring this story to everyone's attention, and I want it out there. That was his last request. And so I will make it my sole mission to tear this fucking company apart and burn it to the ground. But PB, I'm sorry, that's a terrible segue, but
oh gosh, you're gonna ask me what I think about this?
Yeah, I need a moment.
I think that is fucking terrible. Anytime that anybody takes their own life for whatever reason, good, bad, neutral, it's never a good thing. You don't want people out there killing themselves. And especially that you could literally point to the culprit. There is a specific reason why he didn't want to deal with life on this earth anymore, and it has to do with Vince McMahon and the WWE. What a dick. That's just putting it mildly.
Thank you. In respect for my uncle, I'm going to keep the language down for this stream. We're still going to laugh and have some fun, guys, so don't worry. I'm not going to make it all serious, but I want people to see my face, and I want this company to know, Vince, the lives you destroyed, the people you go after. I'm just a small channel, but I guarantee you, I promise you, I will do everything in this world. I will use whatever platform I have available to tear apart that horrendous company you've built on the bodies of countless WWE superstars, people in the back, and innocent people who have worked for this company. You should be ashamed of yourself. And as Father Zod posted on Twitter, which he tagged Mr. McMahon in, I hope you sleep well at night, knowing you've destroyed real people. This is a real face. I'm not a bot. I'm not someone who doesn't have a name. I exist, and I am going to make it my sole mission in life to burn that organization to the ground. I promise you. I promise you.
I mean, all you have to do is co-opt Seth Rollins' slogan and expand it. Burn it down.
Yes. I mean, and the only way I know how to show respect is that we've got 27 people watching, and whoever will rewatch this, I want them to know how great my uncle was. He was a great guy. He was funny. He made some mistakes, but then he turned his life around. And my father and them growing up, they had a rough childhood, and everybody took that and made something of themselves. My uncle worked security. He was a bodyguard to the guy from Snapple. You know, the guy who runs Snapple. My uncle bodyguard for him. I mean, he accomplished so much. He has beautiful daughters, and because of this whole thing that's coming up and drudging this up, and the way that the company treated him, and the way that they used him to try to get good public face, knowing what they did. you guys are disgusting. You guys are worse than any company. I talk about Disney and all these other companies. You guys are worse. The fact that this man can sleep at night, the fact that this man can know that he's destroyed these many families and constantly get away with it and get ratings and get money and get paid off the blood and the sweat and the tears of entertainers, the people he's laid to waste, the people that he has degraded and stepped on to get his fame, the blood money that flows through that company. I promise you, I will have this reporter on. I will link every one of these sites. I will make it my personal goal to make sure that this article that's coming out that exposes the corruption and corporate greed and the hubris of this man is exposed. And since you're older, that's fine. But I really hope that you guys feel this. I hope wrestling dies like all of the people you have left in your wake. You're disgusting profiteers of blood, and you all are no different than a mob boss or anything like that. You are just legal in what you're doing. And I can't wait because your time is coming. Believe that. Your time is coming.
You need to push people to the competitors. That will expedite the downfall. That's the fastest way. That's what happened to WCW. They didn't fall apart because they were a bad company per se. They fell apart because the other company was better. So what you got to do is pump up the other companies so that everybody who works for WWE wants to go someplace else. That's the best thing you can do.
Thank you, YouTube user. I appreciate that. Don't know who you are, but and thank you. I don't like to start things off. This is a funny show and whatever, but
I know you're really hamstringing me here, but it's okay.
And I appreciate it, PB. I know you weren't expecting for this to turn the way it turned. I literally just got off the phone with Father Zod, and I said, Father Zod, are you sure that it's okay for me to talk about this? Because I was in shock. Honestly, I was about to come on and tell you, PB, I can't do this. I don't know. But he goes, son.
Well, I was going to say, you only had frickin', what, less than 10 minutes in between the two streams that you were doing. So from the way it sounded, you didn't know this information on the previous stream that you were on with Justice for Depp.
No. And Glare, what's up, Glare? Go check out his channel if you haven't. The Glare is just a fantastic person. But I found out so my uncle worked for the WWE back in the day. He's what you would call a ring boy. We've got a stream about this. It's called the WWE Exposed. Check it out in Fandom Zone News. But he worked as a ring boy, which was basically they collect the uniforms of the wrestlers. And during his time, he had advances from a exec. And he had to hide, and he was at someone's house. He had to hide in this car, wait for the night, and so he had brought it up to someone. They had basically ignored it, and then they tried to get him fired. Well, he had gone and decided to get a lawyer and sue the WWE because he knew everything that was going on behind the scenes. And throughout the years, he had settled when he was younger, but they had basically tricked him. And my dad was personally involved in this. He helped my uncle get a lawyer. He helped him with everything that was going on. Vince McMahon hates him. True story. And Linda. And they had taken the lawsuit. You could see my dad and my uncle were actually on the Geraldo Rivera show talking about the WWE. And they had exposed that they had underage workers, that there had been sexual abuse to young children, a bunch of really horrible things, horrible beyond what most companies have. My uncle carried this, and he settled because they had bullied him into a settlement. And then afterwards, they had been using my uncle for PR. They had contacted him later and said, "Hey, why don't you, we'll get you back into whatever and whatever else, or just say this about us or whatever." And he came out and he had said some things about them, but they didn't contact him for years until they needed a favor. They had basically gotten him fired from the company for no reason, and then years later called him up to save public face when these scandals had started resurfacing again. And he was feeling depressed and down and used, and he had been mentally abused by these people for years. And he had lived with this guilt of what these people have done to him. And then tonight, he called my father. He talked to him for 2 hours. And then my father gave me the news now. And I was supposed to break another story. And I talked to Father Zod and I said, "Are you sure you want me to save this online? Is it okay?" And he said, "Yes." He said, "My uncle's last wishes was to make sure that the story came out." So the journalist is releasing the story, and he will be on my channel next week to talk about this. And the article will be out, and I'll link the article, and so will Father Zod. But yeah, I mean, that's that's the whole thing. I don't know. What do you got, PB? I need another second.
Oh God! Apparently, I knocked my microphone out of my ear. Like I don't know how a person is supposed to cope with such, what do I want to say, disturbing news, especially when, I don't know what your father could have done about it. He sat there and talked to him. And where does your uncle live? Or I shouldn't say, where did he live?
My uncle's in New York.
He's in New York.
Yeah.
So, that's only, what, 1,500 miles or so away from Texas. So it's not like your dad could have drove over to his house. You can only do what you can do from your physical location. And it's not like you know exactly what somebody's thinking in their head unless they're going to be completely honest with you. And I guess he was mostly honest, but when they keep the biggest thing to themselves, all you do is you receive the news and then you get sad. That's about it. Other than the anger, because guaranteed there's going to be plenty of people that are going to be fucking pissed. And I know that you said that you wanted me to watch the language, but I feel like it was warranted.
Oh, absolutely.
People,
continue.
like I said earlier, there's an exact reason for it. It's not like somebody who, let's say, was bullied through their entire life and they couldn't take it anymore from all the cumulative bullying. We're talking about a specific situation from a specific time that you've been dealing with your entire life. And he's like, you know what? I don't want to fucking deal with this anymore. So I'm checking out. And that's what he did. And the only people that have to deal with it now are the people that he left behind. And that's what a lot of people say is the saddest thing about any suicide, is that I guess the person who commits it is being selfish, they think, because they're not thinking about all of the people that are going to be left behind, thinking, why? Well, you don't have to think why in this case. You know exactly why. Fucking Vince McMahon and everything that he did to him specifically. Like, you could go back and watch the stream that we did. How long ago was that? That was like 2 months ago, wasn't it?
2 months ago, yeah. And it was worrying because he had been saying about how it was all getting to him at that time. And
right. And I mean, I don't know exactly how often he would think of it, but I'm sure that he was thinking about it a lot more recently, especially now that the story is, let's say, resurfacing, like the big story, because he's just part of the big story. But for him individually, like his own personal story, like, you were in it. It happened to you. It's not like, well, you just knew a guy, because that's where you're at. You're like, whoa, it happened to my uncle. I know a guy it happened to. Well, it happened to him. He'd been dealing with it for, what, 50 years?
yeah.
That's a long fucking time, man. Jesus. And with no admission of guilt, no apology, and in fact it was the opposite, because they said, oh, look at this particular man, your uncle, he got over it, right? That's what they say.
Yeah. They used him.
And his brother, he got over it too. We gave them a little bit of money and they were all good. No. That ain't what actually happened. What happened was they were young and they're like, oh, I could really use this money because I'm just a young guy. So they took the money, not knowing how you were going to use this payoff in the future and spin it in a way to make it look like an abusee was okay with being abused. How fucking ridiculous.
Not to mention too, just think about this, folks. Linda McMahon sat in Congress for what is it, the health and well-being or something, or some bull crap on the cabinet. For it was something to do with health and safety. I forgot what it was because I'm really angry right now. But she was in Congress, and to keep face, to save her image, she used my uncle's statement. And they didn't talk to him for years. They never said hi. They never said, how are you? How's the family? How are your daughters? How are you doing? Is there anything we can do for you? No, not once did anybody. You know what? It's fine. Vince's camp is busy. I understand that. But what I don't understand is how you could abuse one of your workers. You can give them a payoff and then contact them years later. But you don't so much as send a Christmas card. It doesn't even got to be from you. Vincent has minions. You're telling me one of your stooges couldn't send a farewell card, couldn't send anything to my uncle, couldn't send him a how are you doing? You know what? We've been keeping in contact. We're sorry about what happened, but you know what? We're doing this, and this, and we've been helping you. Can you help us out? We're trying to clean up our image. Nothing. They contacted him years later when she was running for her bid in Congress simply to make sure he wouldn't say anything to the media. My uncle said, I don't want to open this part of my life anymore. I just want it to be over with. It wasn't even he was co-signing what they were doing. It was the most horrible part of his life. And to answer someone's question in the chat, I'm sorry, I'm so angry, but I did see it. He worked for the company for years. Okay, he was in his teens when he worked for the company, all the way up to where he was getting ready to go to college. My uncle worked for them, and they didn't send him we hope you're well or an even F off card. They sent him nothing, but they used him for a statement in a political arena and then didn't talk to him again. Not a word.
Effed up.
And you know what? They can get away with it. They can get away with it because they can hide behind their corporate lawyers and they can hide behind their suits and their thousands of dollars that they throw around. And you know what? For all of the problem that Warner Bros. Has and that Disney has and the rest of the companies that have, I don't have a personal vested interest in any of them. But the WWE destroyed not just my uncle, but children. They had kids working in the corporation, gathering ring equipment, and Pat and the rest of them would groom kids to be used and abused by corporate executives for years. And now what? In 2020, we're supposed to forget this ever happened? Guess what? My uncle didn't. My uncle didn't. He held it for years.
I was going to say, I don't know if you saw the individual video because I saw it while I was watching wrestling. Because, excuse me, Pat Patterson just died not too long ago, right?
May he burn in hell. I'm sorry, continue.
Right. So anytime that anybody connected to the WWE dies, and it's a relatively big name for them, they do the video tribute, right? Right. So in this video tribute, they just show a bunch of pictures of him with all the other superstars through the years. And for whatever reason, they're playing some like Frank Sinatra song or something like that, some old timer song. And there's a line in the song that says, you know, it's something like, we've made a few mistakes, but we don't focus on that, or we don't worry about that, or we don't worry about the regrets, or some shit like that. And at the exact moment that they do that line in the song, they show a picture of Pat Patterson with a bunch of the Ring Boys. I could not fucking believe it. I was like, wait a second. You know what the story is, and that's what you do?
And those are pictures, right? I mean, this is not made up, folks. My family was in this. My family was embroiled in this. When I was a kid, I got tickets to WrestleMania as a payoff. And my family was personally invested in this. And my dad told me the news now. And honestly, even now, I don't know how I feel. You have to remember, me and my uncle, we've had our issues back and forth or whatever. We've argued and things like that. But I always loved seeing my uncle because my uncle always encouraged, and he actually always encouraged the worst sides, right? I remember when I was a kid, my uncle my uncle, I got a Ninja Turtle suit, and oh, you're welcome, Darlene. I appreciate the question. My uncle, I got a Ninja Turtle suit, and my uncle encouraged my behavior, but I splashed around in water. I knocked over a pan, and I'm in my Ninja Turtle suit, and I said, "Look, I'm a turtle," and my uncle was laughing on the floor. My niece, or my cousin Joan Alice, she was furious, but it was stuff like that. The first time I ever watched Beavis and Butthead, and this is taking it back for you guys who don't know the good days of MTV, I watched Beavis and Butthead with my uncle, and I didn't have a chance to tell Father Zod this because he's taking it hard. But every memory I've ever had, I remember with my uncle. Every single one. And getting the news just before I go on for this live stream, I had no clue what to feel. I didn't know what to say. I got to go into work today. I got to put on the brave face, not say anything, not let anyone see what I'm feeling. But I'm internalizing this. And I'll tell you right now, I am going to make it my life's mission. I will make it my priority to burn this fucking company to the ground. Figuratively, not literally, YouTube. Don't get any wrong ideas. Figuratively, I will make sure every chat, I will have on every reporter. I will have on every person I can covering this. I will make sure I use my platform to see this company burn because they need to. Folks, everyone who is parents out there, everyone else, these people destroyed children's lives, and this is the result, and I am personally going through it right now. And they don't care. They don't care. Vince McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, Hunter Helmsley, whoever the hell runs WWE right now, they don't care what my father is feeling and how devastated he is.
No, you call him by his name. Paul.
Paul. That's right. Paul. They don't care that my father is devastated right now. I don't even know if he's going to want to stream tomorrow. My Uncle Tom was special to my father. He was the youngest one, or one of the younger ones, and my dad always bailed my uncle out. And they always had this weird thing. They would argue on purpose, but it was the weirdest relationship, right? They go back and forth. Okay, one time my uncle lived with my mom and my dad, and my uncle disappeared from their house, and they're like, "Where the hell is Tom? Right? Where is he?" And they found out he had ran away to the circus. My mom was so pissed. She goes to the circus. She goes to the circus and she pulls this young kid, right? He's only like 16 or 17 at the time, right? They look for him everywhere. The carnies protected him. They went to the circus twice and the carnies protected him. They loved him. And, sorry. This was the kind of person that was robbed from.
I mean, it doesn't surprise me that your family was beloved by the carnies. You're a bunch of wacky bastards.
Yeah, the irony is my mother went to work for him too, but. I'm trying to remain professional here. Shit.
I
I
mean,
didn't even know I was gonna cry.
what do you mean by a professional guy? Like, okay, professional can mean a whole lot of things here. We're on YouTube being real. So that just means be yourself. That's what I'm doing here. So who
I did
said it
want to come
before?
on here.
Magic's Mayhem said that you're terrible at hiding your emotion. Just let it flow.
You know, I didn't. You know, my father's breaking down, and I didn't. At the time, I guess I was just stunned. But thinking about it, man, and recalling these memories, I don't even know what I'm gonna say to my aunt. My aunt loves him. My uncles, even though he got into some crazy things with everybody, but my uncle had a great heart, and it was a real funny guy. He was he used to be able to make a whole room laugh. Him and my mom. My mom would be a tough person, but him and my uncle Danny, they get people to the whole room, man. The whole room would just drown in laughter. What's up, Jamie Vic?
Hello, Jamie Vic. I'm glad you could join us. Zod's getting emotional because he had some personal stuff. Well, I guess it didn't happen to him, but he was informed of what happened.
If you guys are just joining my channel, my uncle passed away. He took his life, largely in part to the WWE.
What do you? Whoa! What do you mean largely? I am going with entirely.
Yeah.
I
He had
mean,
something.
okay, sure, maybe over the course of 50 years, he, I don't know, stubbed his toe or got a splinter that also led to this. Well, I'm 100% sure that it was Vince McMahon.
And yeah. Thank you, Tammy. I appreciate you. And I didn't want to come. I didn't want to. I didn't want to do like a somber thing. But like I said, the only way I know how to honor someone in any way is to bring it to you guys. I guess that's why me and Rob get along well. But it's it's just amazing because nobody uh in his camp and Vince's camp, none of these big guys, nobody cares about what my dad is going through. My dad is devastated right now. And thinking back, I was just shocked. I didn't even know when I came on. I just told PB, and PB, what was your first reaction?
Oh, I said, what the fuck? Are you serious?
Yeah. That was PB's real true response.
Well, I mean, you were doing a stream on Justice for Depth channel with a bunch of other people talking about Edward Scissorhands doing a review, right? That's what you were doing?
Yeah.
And when I jumped over there for the last, what was it, 15, 20 minutes or something of that stream, all of you looked like you were just laughing and having a great time. Like, it didn't seem like there was any, let's say, heavy emotion in the stream per se. And then I, show up, start razzing the hell out of you, like I do. And then I was like, okay, he still didn't send me a link. And then you finally sent me the link. And then you weren't even in the StreamYard yet. And I was like, well, what the hell is this son of a bitch doing? Well, apparently he was receiving some terrible fucking news. My God. Like, I have never had to, let's say, come on to YouTube or broadcast or whatever you want to call what we're doing right now with any terrible news like that. I've never had a family member die since I've been doing YouTube. It hasn't happened. The closest that I've gotten to a family member dying was my, let's see if I can get all the levels right on this. My step grandfather-in-law. Yep, that's correct. And everybody liked him so much that there wasn't a wake, wasn't a funeral. I don't know if he got cremated or he's buried. Everybody hated him, including my grandmother-in-law. She's like, son of a bitch, finally he's gone. So that's the only person that I've had in my immediate life die in the last, what would it be, 2 years and 3 months since I've been doing YouTube. And what, a little less than that I've been going on live streams, and what, almost 2 years since we've been doing shows, because that's when we started doing Game of Thorns. Like, this is the worst possible thing that has happened since we have been doing the show.
If you guys don't know, and this is on a serious note, me and PB razz each other, but I consider PB, and maybe I'm just getting a little sentimental here because of the situation, but PB has been one of the closest people I've had YouTubing, and has been there when I have been outcasted by certain groups and things like that. And that's why I'm glad he's on here tonight, because I don't know. I had no reaction when I'm on the phone, and I'll go to work. I'm gonna go to work after this. I'm gonna do my security because that's what my uncle would want. He would be like, Lee, you're just using this as an effing excuse not to work. He would want me to go and continue my life the way that it is. And I didn't know. My father Zod was breaking down, and I didn't, because he didn't need that right now. He needed me to be me. And my mom just texted me, and I told her, Ma, I'm doing my thing, and she didn't text me back, but she knows. She was
well,
like,
no. Don't sell her short. Don't sell her short. You told her you were doing your thing, and she's like, oh, that means I don't have to text back, or else it'll make that buzzing noise on the stream again.
And I didn't want to do a sad stream. I was going to have so much fun and keep the good laughs going, and it's just like, this company doesn't give a shit, man. They don't care. They literally destroyed a family now. My family. My aunts, my uncles are going to call me tomorrow, and I don't know what to say. I'm going to have to go there.
Well, you ain't got to say nothing. Well, what you got to do is, you gotta let it go to voicemail the first time. See what the message is. Then you can figure out what you want to say because you don't know what angle they're going to come at it from. You don't know how emotional each person's going to be. You don't know how supportive you're going to be because what if one person's calling you to support you, the other person's calling you to get support? So what if you're not in the mood for one and you're in the mood for the other? Well, you got to know what to expect for shit like that. So that's what I suggest. Let it go to voicemail the first time. See what they say. See if you can distinguish what tone they're using, and then call them back. Now, if it's somebody who's having a total breakdown and you're having a total breakdown, maybe don't call that person back immediately because that's not going to be a very productive conversation.
And cyber tonight's a little bit more serious. I don't know how many of the articles we'll get into or how
That's
long.
all right.
But
yeah, I didn't even know that he was here. I'm looking at other stuff on my phone.
It took me a while. I had to log out of an app. I almost thought my computer was going to freeze. I'm like, no, not right now, computer. I got to get in here and be supportive.
Thank you, Cyber. I appreciate it. Geekicidal Tendency says, lighting up a room takes a special kind of person. Lee, hold on to that. I'm sorry for your loss. We all are here for you and share what you need. Thank you. Zod, you don't have to make us laugh. Thank you, Bonnie. I appreciate that.
No, that's why I'm here.
Says, bring a spare hanky. You know, you guys want to hear something weird? I got into security, and I think maybe subconsciously it might have been a thing inspired by my uncle. My uncle worked private security for corporate people, like corporate bigwigs. He drove these people around and protected them. My uncle's a big dude. And maybe in later streams when I cover this, I'll show you all some pictures. My uncle worked out like religiously. He was a big guy and he guarded some of the biggest people. He guarded the head of Snapple, man, the big honcho who makes Snapple. He guarded him.
Like the guy who's walking around with the briefcase full of secret recipes?
Yeah, that guy.
Ooh.
So, I mean, it baffles me. I've always had this weird view on suicide. Like, I used to think that's so selfish and things like that. But when it happens to you, or when you lose people close to you, and this isn't the first person I lost who took their life, you reevaluate your position because I understand. I understand, and I don't understand at the same time. It's like my family is wacky, they're weird, but I love them and they're my family. Any one of us would have been there, but it's like, how do you comfort what he's been through? What do you say to someone who has been through what he's been through? I could say the words, it'll be okay. I understand what you're going through, whatever, but I don't understand what he's gone through. I don't understand what he feels, but I empathize with it. And I think about that, and I think about how isolated you must feel knowing that. And I think, and I know right now I feel if Father Zod comes on tomorrow, please everybody come through, show him support, because he's taking this really hard. And if you're watching this, which I know you watch my streams, I love you. The chat loves you. And I'm going to continue doing what I do so that we can make a difference And we can, call these people out. These soulless people who don't care.
Well, it looks like at least we have some wise people in the chat that understand that everybody takes their grief individually, and no single person is going to or even should react the same way as anyone else. Everybody acts differently when they either receive the news or hear the news or whatever you want to call it, and whatever. That's because we're all individuals, and you're going to deal with bad news the way that you're going to deal with it. You're going to deal with good news the way you're going to deal with it. Like, somebody hears good news and they, explode through the roof. The next person hears the same good news and they're like, cool. So why is it that when it's good news, people don't get all bent out of shape that, you're not reacting the right way? But when it's bad news and you're like, oh no, you should handle your grief this way. You should only be this upset. I was like, okay, or I can be as upset as I want to be because, they're my feelings on what happened in my life. Like, these are facts of what happened. This is not like my interpretation of things. This is not like, well, this is what I read in the newspaper and how I feel about it. Nah, man. Someone died, and that's how I feel about it.
Magic Mayhem says, and Zod, look at what this community did for JD in a year. We can get behind taking down scum like WWE. Look, it's all the same. WWE is just a different version of Hollywood. They're sports entertainment, but they still fall under what? Entertainment. Vince McMahon has used people and destroyed their families. He's destroyed families. He destroyed my family. And for what?
For money. For money. It's always for money. And the only way that he knows how to make money is with wrestling. So anything that's going to hurt his wrestling product, squash it. Anything that's going to support his wrestling product, hold it up. It's amazing how he took the facts of what happened and played both sides of the coin for his benefit. Like, oh, he did this with these children. Let's put that to the side. Let's suppress it until we can pay them off appropriately, and then we'll tell everybody that, oh, they're over it because they took the money. Wait, what? You gotta be kidding me, guy. That's not how that works. I mean, okay, I could go even a level higher than that with something smaller, as in more money on a lesser infraction. I don't know if anybody here knows who Erin Andrews is, the sideline reporter for Fox, but she won a lawsuit against some hotel chain. I don't remember which one it was, because somebody in the next room spied on her, like drilled a hole in the wall and took pictures of her while she was in the shower, in the bathroom, naked. I was like, oh my God. So she got millions of dollars from that. And she's never going to get over that somebody spied on her, that they invaded her privacy. And I don't think that it's ever going to get to the level where she's going to take her own life like your uncle did. So it's less of an infraction. Like, nobody physically did anything to her like they did to your uncle. She got more money, and people care about that, but they didn't care about this fucking story.
And you know what? For everyone in the chat, don't worry about me. I'm not going to do anything that drastic, but I will tell you one thing. If you guys
No, I'm
know
not going to let him.
PB would kick my ass. He would bring me back just to kick my ass. But I'll tell you one thing. I will make it my mission on this channel to destroy this company. I am going to make it my life's mission to make it very uncomfortable for Vincent Kennedy McMahon. You, your family, you're a bunch of leeches and parasites. And honestly, the days of wrestling entertainment, it had its heyday. And it needs to die with all of the other people you put into the ground. All of the people who broke their bodies. All of the children who grew up broken and are in this article coming out. My family that is now personally in this article. My uncle who's going to be a headline because I will make it my sole life's goal to bury you. I promise you. I will bury this goddamn company.
Thinking of a great quote from Iron Man 3 right now. It's kind of in the beginning, and it's reiterated near the end. It's, we create our own monsters. And, well, one was created tonight.
And
way to go, Vince. Dumbass.
If you think Zod is just a clever play on words, you haven't even seen me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. Yeah, I took that.
You need to get some. You get some red contacts.
Just call me Hen if you don't know. I got a call a couple of before we went on that my uncle took his own life because of some stuff that happened to him when he worked for the WWE. And I'm processing my feelings right now. And kind of working through it. But I'm just giving some stories and telling you guys about how great he was, because I know that Father Zod and my uncle would want me to share with you good memories of him. And, talking to Father Zod, you have moments in life. You guys ever have moments where it seems like everything just stops? I was sitting there looking on the phone like the news wasn't real. I can't believe that that this is actually happening. That this man who could make a whole entire room smile, this guy who was so funny and outgoing, that he's gone. That's it. I haven't seen my uncle's daughters in a while. I don't even know how they feel right now. I don't know how my aunt feels or what's going through her mind, and I'll make all the appropriate calls tomorrow. But and even if I do, I don't know what to say. I had another uncle who took his life, and I don't know what to say. I don't know how to make right. And this is solely, I never thought I'd be the person being on YouTube here where it'd be like, corporate America destroyed my life. But solely, this is a greedy corporation that they just ruined my family tonight. They ruined my family, my aunts, my uncles. Everybody is going to be devastated because of these people. and they don't give a shit. They don't care. None of them care. They care about the headline that's going to drop, which will be dropping tonight. And I guarantee you,
who is it? Who is it coming out from?
it's from a reporter. I don't want to say anything yet until he comes onto my stream. It's for, legal reasons. But he will be on my channel.
Right.
He will be on my channel. He will be talking with me and Father Zod. And he will lay out for you guys everything this company has done. And it's quite amazing. It's spectacular that no one's been prosecuted. No one's been arrested. No one has served a sentence. Wrestlers who beat their women got off scot-free. Children who were abused by Pat Patterson and all of them, they got off scot-free. He was allowed to have a nice cushiony life and pass away with ease. All of these people, they all were allowed to get away with this. They were all allowed to destroy these lives. And maybe I won't make a difference. Maybe I'll be a stone in a pond. Or maybe this will all be brought to light. But I hope to God someone will watch this, and I hope more people will see how horrible these people are. Despite what Disney does and stuff like that, yeah, they destroy people's lives, but as far as I know, not to the point of having people kill themselves. This man literally drove my uncle, good man, tonight to take his life. And it's appalling. It's horrendous. And the fact that they're going to go to sleep tonight and feel not a bit of shred of guilt or shame is the biggest injustice of this whole situation. They're going to go to sleep and they don't care about me. They don't care about my father. They don't care about my aunts. They don't care about my nieces or my nephews or everybody else who's going to hear this news and be devastated at the funerals that I'm going to have to attend. They don't care about none of that. They won't be there. They won't even send a card or flowers. I put money on it. You know what they will care about? The shitstorm that I will personally see. This platform I will personally use to rain down upon them.
No, I would be interested. I would be interested to see what kind of statement any of them, as in the family, because I don't care about anybody below that. Like if they're going to have somebody from the PR department, I don't give a shit about them. You either got to have the last name McMahon or you have to have been a former champion. That means Triple H. Okay? You got to be one of those people. I want to hear what they have to say when you hear something or read something with the headline of 40 years of lies leads to death. Right? Like, that's just a general one. Obviously, I could write it better than that if I had more time and I'm not sitting here being pissed off about it. But I'd be like, hey, Vince, so this guy ended up killing himself because he just wanted an apology for the last 40 years. And you're like, well, we didn't really do nothing wrong. And he took the money. So obviously we didn't do nothing wrong. So then why did he feel like he was abused? And why did he call his family and say that this was the specific reason that he committed suicide? Yeah, answer that question.
And here's the thing. It's going to be spectacular to see the spin team, but, the thing that gets me is that if you guys remember, Chris Benoit had taken his life and murdered his family, right? And that was all played up as a big tragedy. They swept it under the rug. And here, they have no clue the irreparable damage that they've done. This is me personally. This is me. This isn't Zod. This isn't my persona. I'll dox myself. I don't give a shit tonight. This is Lee Cole the Fourth. They hurt me, and they don't care. They hurt. It wasn't me reading about this. This is my family. This is my father. My father right now is devastated. Absolutely devastated. I can count on my hands how many times my father is legitimately broken. And he is broke tonight. He has been broken. And I sent him the link, but I told him it's fine if you don't want to come on. Because I don't know if he can string together a sentence for you guys. I don't know, and I wouldn't want him to try to do that. I don't even know how I'm doing this, to tell you the truth. But I'm so angry, and I'm so hurt. This is what I do. And normally it's for you guys in the community. But tonight it's selfishly about me, and it's about calling these people out. Because these people, they just don't give a shit. And I wasn't even going to do this out of a respect thing. But my uncle wanted people to know. He wanted people to know what he had been dealing with for 40 plus years. You know, that's the amazing part. Even though he knew he wasn't going to make a difference, his last thing was to be like, hey, this happened, and people need to know. That was his. I'm sorry, you guys go.
You want me to follow up the tears? I can't do that, guy. That's difficult. It's very difficult for me. I don't know. I feel for you, but I don't know. I guess I particularly have been lucky in my life that I've never, ever had a family member spontaneously die. All of the family members that I've had die through my life, we've known that it's been coming because they've either been old and sick or they've had some disease and been sick. So I've never had to wake up the next day or been sitting there and get a phone call from somebody and been like, oh, I wasn't expecting to get a phone call from them. Cool, I'll talk to that person. And you take the phone call and you're like, oh, shit. So I've never had to deal with that. Obviously, I've had to deal with death. I assume everybody in the chat has had to deal with death at some point. If you haven't, I guess consider yourself lucky. But it's going to happen at some point, and it's going to be sad. And like I said before, you're going to work through it the way that you want to. So if you didn't want to be here talking to us, you wouldn't be here. You would have said, hey, something came up, guys. I got to cancel the stream. I'll see you tomorrow. Right?
Yeah.
But I assume that you didn't want to just sit in the house and drink your bottle of Jack Daniels. Or is that not what you're drinking?
But like,
I want to insult him, but
Oh.
that'd be inappropriate right now.
yeah,
Bud Light.
fuck YouTube if they yank me for showing that.
No, you're just supposed to say not a paid sponsor.
Yeah.
Not a paid sponsor. There we go.
Yeah,
Um,
but we know why Zod's drinking that. He has to go work in a few hours, so.
And here's the thing. I
I'm sorry. That was the first one that got to me. Yeah, he's drinking because he's got to go to work, man.
I
It's not like he's pounding a beer every 10 minutes.
no. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I did 3, and a couple I might have bitchy drive me, but fear no more. Thank you. She said that I got her through a hard time. And no, that's the kind of person I am. I like to talk to people. Look, some people get gifts, and mine has always been to be able to talk a hell of a lot. And apparently people like listening to it. But I've never.
They like listening to me more, but continue.
I've never been in a situation. I've never had it happen where I talk about companies destroying people's lives all the time. And folks, this is the honest to God truth. I've never had it hit home. I've seen other things, and I've wanted to speak up about the injustice of it, but I never had it personally hit me until tonight. My family, and you can go on YouTube and look up our videos. We're on there. This is not nothing you can't find. And look through my playlist. It's called the WWE Exposed. It's under Fandom Zone.
It's got
News.
a big WWE symbol in the thumbnail. And I know that because I made it.
Yeah. PB did an amazing job. And I've never had it hit me this personally. And hearing this tonight, it's like everything that I've been covering or I've been talking about, it's just shattered my perception of how ruthless companies actually are. I mean, this is me. This is my family. I'm not hearing about Gina Carano or somebody I don't know. Dad knows, apparently. Lucky SOB. But anyways, this is me. This is my family. This is my home. This is where I live. This is who I am. And they took something from me. And it's not someone removed. It's not someone I haven't talked to. It's not someone I don't have memories of going to see movies with or talking to, or at times yelling at me for being an idiot and not making the right choices. This is someone who got mad at me because I was like them, and I skated by the college experience, or they saw me messing up and not doing the right thing. They gave me money when I needed help with my daughter.
You went to college?
I did.
Could have fooled me.
And every time I messed up, they would call me out on it.
Good. Then we were of the same mind then.
Yeah. It's probably a Freudian thing of why we're such good friends, Mr. Pop Culture.
Ah, okay. I can live with that.
It's probably why Father Zod gets along with you so well too. You know, this was, folks. This is real. This is like real corporate hubris, man. They think they're untouchable. They think they're untouchable.
Well, I mean, how many lawyers does he have on retainer? Assume that he's got an entire room full of lawyers constantly, because there's always something going on there for some stupid reason. I mean, how long was the stupid CM Punk thing going on? That was a real thing. There's always some stupid thing going on in the WWE. And this is not a stupid thing. So I assume it probably took 2 rooms of lawyers, because your dad was just one of many. So how many other people are out there living with this same thing that could have this same exact family experience that Zod is having right now? We have no idea.
I hope that this is the nail in the coffin. I really do, because this headline's going to come out, and I am going to be there to combat every little PR spin that they put on this, because they're going to put it on there. They're going to. Do you realize, folks, that these people are going to try to drag my own uncle through the mud? They're going to try to say things that aren't true. They're going to try to say, "Oh, he took the money."
Oh yeah, victim
and
smearing.
This is going to be your most reliable source, everyone, of information for anything that happens. This will be the most reliable source.
Yeah, I'm telling you guys now, it's going to go live on Twitter. I don't know when, but my Father Zod promised. And if you think I'm ruthless, you guys have no idea about Father Zod. Father Zod likes to be in the mud. And I can only imagine, after he gets over the grief, what he's going to do to tear this company apart. And you know what? It will be a father and son thing, because I will personally make it my life's work. When I reach 1,000, however many thousands I get, I will make it my mission in life to have the littlest, loudest voice. I want Vince and Linda and all the rest of them to know who I am. They know me. You shook hands with me. I will be the architect of being the biggest pain in the ass that you guys, and ass bitchy. I can be a big pain in the ass when I need to be. I will be the hugest.
You were only here for a weekend. I know how big of a pain in the ass you can be. I shouldn't say that, not me. The wife just asked you to shut the bathroom light off. I know that the switch is in a weird position, but I just need you to try a little bit.
So, Zod, when it drops, can you be sure to tag all of us dropping in the Phantom Zone chat? Because I want to get those links, and I'm going to be posting them in pretty much most of the Discord servers that have, well, yeah, you know, that'll talk about it, or sports. I was thinking of the one that's the most populated, but that's just a shithole.
And I just want to say, everybody who's here right now, Cyber, Pop Culture PB, and I know Perp and Stevie would be here if they could. These are the people that have been with me through the good times and the bad. We've gone through it together. So these are the people that I trust. And all of you people in the chat, I have 30 people watching me. I know in the UK it's super late, and I appreciate that, because I never thought that I would get to this point in my YouTubing. And now I will make it my personal goal to reach 1,000, so that I can get every possible person that I know, and that I can trend how horrible this company is.
You can make money off of how horrible WWE is.
For sure. Oh my God. Recently, oh my God. I didn't think that they were going to go this way, but the Roman Reigns thing is friggin' hilarious. Like, first of all, nobody cares about him. And the only reason he gets a crowd reaction is because the crowd reaction is fake. Secondly, it's hilariously I don't know. I thought that it was partially racist because he's the tribal chief.
And comics chat, if you don't know, good to see you. That's if you guys don't know, go check out comics chat. He's got a great channel. But anyways, it's kind of a bit of a sadder stream, my man. My uncle passed away tonight. He took his life, and the WWE is responsible. They did something. He went through something horrendous, and given what was been going on, he took his life. And I found out about an hour ago now, literally just coming off of another stream. And I had stuff planned for this late night talks, but I'm not sure what I'm going to get to tonight or whatever else, because I'm kind of laying out the situation and letting you know how terrible the WWE is, how terrible Vince McMahon is, and how I'm making it my personal mission to make sure that this company burns to the ground so I can piss on its ashes and dance around in those ashes. And I'm not going to smear them on my face. I had that thought, but I was like, nah, I pissed on them. I'm probably not good. That's not kosher. But yeah. And, it goes back to talking about these companies. I never realized how evil these corporations are until I have been personally caught in this corporation, in their greed. My family has been struggling with this for PB. You coined it, 40 years now?
I mean, at least, right? 40 years only takes you back to 1981 now. Jesus, 2021, people.
Yeah, why I have had my stance that I've had is because I've seen firsthand. My family has been involved firsthand in what a greedy corporation is like. And the WWE is the epitome of greed and savagery, avarice and hubris of people who give in to the most basis. And they've been supplying their wrestlers with drugs. They supplied their wrestlers with steroids. They raped young kids and male little boys. They have made such psychological scars that I'm sure my uncle isn't the first case that this happened to, but this is the first one that's hit me personally. And I am going to make it my life's mission to destroy them.
I mean, you got a lot of life left. You're still a young man.
And I've been passionate about this thing with Johnny Depp. I've been passionate about what's happening with Gina Carano and stuff like that. But this is not passion, people. This is personal. This is very personal to me. This is about as personal as it gets for me. I will have reporters on. I will have everybody on. I will reach out and try to find people who have gone through this, and I will have them on this channel. I will make it my life's mission to see all of these people brought down. I know it's a pretty big mission.
Where's what's the name of the playlist for the WWE? Because I'm looking through your playlist because I'm trying to get a link.
I don't think that there's a list.
It's under Phantom Zone News. It'll be, link that to everybody. Check out
Phantom Zone News. Okay, let's view the full playlist.
Yeah, thank you, Cyber. This, and we'll drop the links. You guys can watch that and see the interviews and see what these people have done. We've got witness statements. We've got all sorts of stuff.
Okay, I see it. It's like number 11, the update one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Comics chat.
Right.
My uncle was attacked by a person within the WWE, a higher ranking affiliate at the time. Not talking about a wrestler or something. This was a person who was in Vince's inner circle, a top honcho, tried to assault him, and then they tried to cover it up. And they wanted to pay off my uncle. At the time, my father was not present because they had him arrested under bogus charges to keep him out of the discussions. And then by the time he was released, they had already signed a deal. And in the deal was a what do they call it, non-compliance or non-compete. You know what I mean? Like he couldn't talk about it, basically.
Shut up. It's shut up money.
And at the time he was younger, they promised his job back if he could do college, and they knew he couldn't go through college because he was young at that time, and he wound up losing his job, and they didn't care. Years later, Linda McMahon reached out to him, and she was running for a Senate position. Thank you. Gag order. You hit it on the head, gag order. And the years later, Linda McMahon was running for a cabinet position in Trump's cabinet, and that's neither here nor there. That's a whole different topic. She just wanted political office, and she got it. And it hinged on my uncle not saying anything. And the only time they ever reached out to him, the only time they called him, was to make sure he was on board. That he was gonna be with the program. He was gonna play the game, and they promised this and they promised that. And you know what he got? He got all of this revisited. And there's a gentleman who's coming on. I'm not going to say his name yet because he'll be on, but he's a pretty well-known independent investigative reporter, and he broke the story. And it was one of the last times that my uncle has been interviewed. So he'll be on to talk about this. And my family will be mentioned in the article. Yeah.
When they start talking about this, everyone's got to be. You all got to show up here. These guys got to help Zod and his dad push through that article.
Thank you, comics chat. Now that you're caught up, and I would start a GoFundMe, but I want to see where this all goes. We got some things in the works. I don't want to. I don't know what we want to do yet, but I do know that this article is the first step into exposing this, and nobody wanted to touch this. All of the major news companies got paid to not run this story. This was supposed to be out a year ago in 2020. And these freaking shills, these media hacks, they can run campaigns on Johnny Depp and tell lies, but when they're given an opportunity to tell the truth, Vincent and his team called them up, and the story was killed. And this man had to go through different channels just to get this story put out. And it only got ran because I lost someone. They're only going to run this because someone died. Just think about how asinine that is. The newspaper wouldn't pick up a story about children being abused until someone died.
Well, yeah, that's what, isn't that the old adage? It's all fun and games until someone gets hurt, and then it's a headline, right?
Yep. And they didn't they these news people, if you guys want to know why I hate the media so much, these news people, they had a chance to do the right thing and get justice for my uncle before he passed. And even if this story gets ran, it's going to be after he passed. They sat on this story and are now releasing it because apparently now there's the byline for them to run. They've got their pound of flesh, so now they can run it. Because now Vince can't scramble out of his little rat holes that he creates.
I mean, I don't think he fits in any rat holes anymore. He fit in rat holes back when he was announcer Vince, when people didn't know him as the owner of the company, and he was just the guy sitting at the table next to the ring. But now he's the face at the front. He's,
And Comics Chat,
top of
thank
the
you so
building.
much for coming through. I'm sorry. I just wanted to thank Comics Chat. If you guys don't know, go check him out. He's got a great channel. We did some power streams together, and I haven't forgotten. We were due for a talk, but
every time that you say that, I forget, like, initially when I hear you say power, I go, like, what does that mean? Like, they were doing like a really electrically charged stream, like they were really hyped on a stream, like they were doing a powerful stream, like a power stream. And I was like, oh wait, that's a show that they got into, and then someone got murdered on the show, right?
yeah. Boy,
a bunch
that
of
was
gangsters or something.
Yeah. Power, great show. If you guys don't, you guys can check out those reviews. But I just, it's surreal. It's surreal that this. I don't even know how to describe it to you. Like, it's surreal. The feeling that I get, and I got to call my mom back. My mom was close, and right now I don't even know how the hell she's feeling about it. But she just beat this thing with Kai, and then we get this news, and it's surreal. Everything when I think about leading up to this pisses me off because this didn't have to happen.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to laugh. I read Hen's comment that said, I don't like using the C word, but in this case, it fits.
Yeah. Hen Bitchy will be home. She has no clue. She's gonna be confused, like, I just left for a couple hours. What happened? And I'm gonna be coming and be like, I love you. And she's gonna be like, what's going on? But I'm really glad that I have her because I don't know what my emotions are, but they're somewhere between pissed off and sad, but then angry because I'm sad. And my first emotion is anger. So if you guys didn't know, welcome to the channel. I'm angry because I don't know. I actually, this isn't someone I don't know. This is someone I've gone to Christmases with, who's taken me out when I was a youngster, who's been in my life. I'm angry because my father is devastated and I don't know what to say. I'm angry because my mother is devastated and I don't know what to say. I'm angry because his two beautiful daughters are going to be devastated and haven't seen me in a couple of years, and I don't know what I'm going to say. It's the first time in my life that I don't know everything that's going on and how I'm going to process everything. I'm starting this new job, and I got to get my faculties enough into this because I love this position, and I really want this. And I know that my uncle would want me to go do my job and keep on moving forward. I know that's what he would want. It's just, let me ask you something, guys, here on the panel. How do you deal with the fact that at their last moments, this person wanted, their last words were to make, they said, and this is the direct quote, that if anything happens to them, make sure that this story gets out. Like, how do you process this? That was their last words. It's not, I never want to feel like I'm manipulating a situation just for gain, but it's like, how do you deal with the fact that the person just wanted, to me, that says they just wanted people to know what they went through so it doesn't happen to them. Their last action, even though it could be perceived as selfish if you want to go that route, it isn't. They wanted other people's stories to be out there. And this is going to get that story out. They gave their life to get the truth out. How do you, I don't know, fuck, I don't even know what my original question was. Like, how crazy is that even their last words is to tell everybody?
I don't know. It seems like a pretty clear, I don't know, what would it be? Call to action? Or what's another way to say that? Gosh, I had just thought of it too, and then I lost it. But a call to action, I guess, is good enough. Or it gives you a clear focus of what you can do with what you have. Like, did your uncle know that you did this?
He knew. He actually, I believe he saw one of my streams, or I know most of my family saw the streams, and they all like to talk. Big surprise, I'm sure. So I'm pretty sure it got around to the campfire that this is what I do, and that I was at 918, and that I'm actually rolling here, and that he knew my father was in contact with this person. And the last thing is that he wanted people to know what happened to all of these kids who he probably worked next to. What happened to
Like,
him.
he didn't say I want justice. Like, that's something he could have called for. He didn't say he wanted vengeance. That's something he could have called for. He didn't say he wanted you to tear down the WWE. That's something he could have called for too. All he asked for was, hey, tell this story. Let all 7 billion people hear this story. And then let them decide how they feel about it. Because I bet there'll be a pretty wide consensus that, yeah, Vince, you are one of the world's biggest assholes. You know that you remember Thor 3?
Yep.
You remember the Devil's Anus?
Yep. Yes, I do.
That's Vince McMahon.
And I've been covering all of these stories, but it's definitely going to be a focus now for me to oppose this corruption across corporations. This isn't just, I've been highlighting for weeks now, WB, Disney, and now think about this in sports entertainment, the WWE, which is one of the biggest entities in the world. They bring in billions and billions, not millions, billions of dollars. They got a corporate headquarters bringing in billions of dollars. Okay. They are the conglomerate. They are the biggest in the wrestling world right now. And these people have built this empire on the backs of their wrestlers, on the backs of families. They've used disabilities, race, gender, kids, every type of demographic to further their.
You're telling me that you didn't like watching Brock Lesnar throw a cripple around? Because I thought everybody loved that storyline. It was only one of the worst ones of all time. Nah, man, it's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's real bad.
When you sit back and you think about
what the fuck?
When you think about what these people have done, what they've highlighted on their shows, they call for pushing a progressive outlook, right? They want to, but how do they frame their African American, talent? How do they frame their women? How do they frame the disabled community? How do they frame all of these different communities, right? They use stereotypes, and they sold them using stereotypes and got praised for it. Got handed money, millions of dollars. They sold the American dream. There were kids who were taken to these shows under the guise that there's this entertainment value, that there's this wholesome value to their entertainment, that they're helping these children. And yes, some of the wrestlers, John Cena and some of them, they really do care about the kids. But that's the people. The company as a whole is a greedy, nasty, disgusting beast. They have profited off the misery of people, and they've sold discrimination and paid for it. And I'm not just pulling this out of the air. Literally, some of these storylines up to date have been discriminatory. But do you see the media? Do you see we got this covered? Screen Rant, IMDb, THR, Vanity, any of these hacks? Do you see them covering the WWE? No. You want to know why? Because Vince is sitting in the boardroom. He's sitting in the back office, handing out money like it's water to all of these papers to be like, just don't say nothing. You don't got to praise me. You don't got to give me accolades. Just don't draw any attention. Let us be us and take this money and be happy. People like the Post, the Times, and all of you other shills had the opportunity to run this story. And you almost did, and then you backed out. And I've got the evidence. You guys had the opportunity to prevent somebody from taking their lives, and you stood by and you backed out because you were scared of one man and a truckload of money.
Wait, did you just say scared of a truckload of money?
No, they were scared of one man with his truckload of money.
So that is what you said?
Yeah, I connected it a little bit fuzzy.
No, I mean, no. It made sense to me. I was like, well, yeah, I'd be afraid of a truckload of money if I'm, in the crosswalk.
And I mean, Fear No More, no, he wasn't a wrestler. He was a ring boy. What they did was gather the attire of wrestlers. You know how they throw those fancy jackets and stuff? They don't go to the crowd. Someone comes by and picks them up because those jackets cost a lot of money. So he was one of those people.
The only thing that goes to the crowd is the occasional wrestler, and you gotta become pretty popular because they don't let you do it at the beginning. Because if you remember, John Cena was not taking his shirt off and throwing it into the crowd at the beginning of his career, but now he does it every single time. Well, he's one of their biggest fucking stars, so they're like, yeah, he throws the shirt out because we got to put him up there, we got to put him on the pedestal, and yeah, that's what they do. And you know what else they do? I don't know if they use him, but I know that he goes around doing Make-A-Wish all over the place. As in, I'm pretty sure that he has done more Make-A-Wishes come true, or what am I trying to say? He's been the wish maker. He's granted wishes. Thank you, wife. Well, we can't all be winners all the time. I got to fuck up at least once. Whatever. Anyway, he's granted more wishes than anybody else by double.
Tiffany Daniels made a great point. She said, "Oh no, they are ableist as the disability community has said it for years, and no one's listened to us." Exactly. This is the thing that Vince does. He manipulates the media, and all of the voices get drowned out into the background. But we're in a new era. What do you think, Cyber? Because I know you've been silent.
Oh, I've been silent mostly because I'm just listening, but this is what a lot of people with power like Vince do. They all buy and sell the media, science, all this shit.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. And
you never know what's going on behind the scenes because they all make sure you don't see what's going behind the scenes.
yeah, and they spin it and they fabricate and they tell their lies and their stories.
The WWE literally owns a lot of curtains.
Oh yeah, yeah, literally and figuratively, they own a ton of curtains. There's so much shadiness going on, and
they're blacking out stuff all over the country, or at least they used to be before the end of the world happened.
And here's the thing: I'm really hoping to get a lot of traction because this is the thing. They're sports entertainment, and what's being hit the hardest during these zombie apocalypse times? Entertainment. And I know, I'm not certain, but I know that Vince has been feeling the sting of what's been going on, and I intend.
Okay. I think is there something actually going on with the WWE like tonight, like a show or something?
Friday Night SmackDown.
Okay, that's why I see it at the top of the trending.
Oh yeah, they trend every time that they're on because it's a live TV show that people are watching. So
that's why it's the perfect night to just drop that article right now. It's trending. Hopefully they drop that article soon because that'll just poof.
And
Right
you know what?
there.
If you watch that show, I bet you they don't even mention my uncle. Not once. I bet you there's going to be no moment of silence. No. Pat Patterson, the biggest scumbag in the world, gets a moment of silence. He gets the photos across. There's going to be no photos of my uncle, even though he was there with all of them. Literally took pictures with every one of them. And I got my pictures. I'm going to show you guys. We got pictures from being at the WWE, all of that. But I'm going to gather every bit of pictures that he has, that we have, that Father Zod has, and I'm going to post them so they see I was in this inner circle. My father was in this inner circle. My uncle was in this inner circle. And we were part of a cover-up, a conspiracy. And there's going to be nothing for my uncle. And he helped them through the year. His position, he was one of the first people to have this position, guys. Having a ring bearer, it was created because they needed to get around the child labor laws. So they needed to be doing something that wasn't technically work. That's why this position was created. Because it's not work. It's like you're volunteering your services, right? We're volunteering to get you into the WWE, right? They talked about having him getting to announce positions and things like that. And then all this stuff happened, and they said, "Don't worry, we're not bitter. We're not going to. Your job is secure. Don't you worry. We would never, ever get rid of you for no reason. That's not the kind of corporation we are. All you have to do is college. But you're a young kid who's got all this money. I'm sure you'll succeed." They knew he wasn't going to succeed. His job hinged on him being able to get straight A's. Now, with the Cole family, we can all get A's, but it's a matter of applying ourselves to get those A's. And, it didn't work out, but they knew it. They knew that he was a street smart kid. He was good at what he did. He was good at connecting with people. But street smarts don't always translate into the books. And they used that to get rid of him because they didn't want anything looming. They didn't want any evidence that could be traced back to them. So they got rid of him. And then they just think about this. They get rid of my uncle. He goes on about his life. He makes a life for himself. He goes from being a ring boy, from doing all this stuff, and he pulls himself out of that. He marries someone. He has 2 beautiful kids. And he goes on to bodyguard people. He builds a house for his family. And years later, he hasn't heard anything from these people. And right around election time now, he gets a call because Linda McMahon wants to step out of the shadows of the WWE. And they don't even say, "Hi, how you doing? How's it been? How's your life we tried to ruin?" They don't say none of that. They go, "Hey, these people are going to dig into my past, and I need you. They're on our side, bucko. Poncho, I need you to be a team player. I need you to do the best thing you can do and be silent and not say anything. Just stand by, and if anyone asks you questions, you say nothing. Just say nothing. And you will be rewarded." And how do they reward him? He stands by because he doesn't want to be pulled into the limelight. He doesn't want to be pulled into the shenanigans, into the media hype. He wants to be left alone with his family. And how do they reward him? Do they send him a Christmas card? Do they send him a fuck off card? Do they send him anything? Here's a little something for the family. Thank you. We appreciate you. Flowers, candy, a pendant, a pen? Nothing. They say, thank you very much. Goodbye. And they open the door. And what happens? Now WWE's under scrutiny. Now he's got reporters. He's got people hassling him and his family. And he just wants to forget that this happened. He wants to live his life. He wants to live his life and raise his kids. And he can't. He starts having nightmares. He starts having bad dreams. He can't sleep. He's arguing with his wife. They can't figure out what's wrong with him. He's calling my dad. He's depressed. And everyone's trying to say something, trying to lift the spirits up, trying to make him feel better, right? It's all right. We'll come and visit you. Don't. Your family got your back. And then his hope is that these people will run this story. And me and Father Zod are covering this, right? PB remembers this. We're covering this. We're excited because a news story is coming out and we're going to expose the truth here on the channel. Expose the truth.
Oh, man, you said it. Why would you do that? You mean the fandom zone. Get fandom zone trending.
Everyone in the chat, get that trending. Also, how did you flip yourself in PB? I just sat here and I watched it and I'm like, how did you flip? Like,
I don't know what happened. I just see that.
I didn't think you could do that.
Oh, no, I know that you can move yourself on the screen because I saw the
pyramid where Zod's
thumbnail.
above both of us.
Yeah, so you can move yourself around. And I only know that because as I was scrolling through my not the subscriptions, I guess the videos, so they put the lives at the top. And I seen the thumbnail because it was just a thumbnail of the people being live. And I was like, oh, of course that person would put herself in the middle. I ain't watching that crap. And I scrolled past. I'm a dead sub on that channel. It's a good time.
Yeah, but I lost the point with the whole screen swapping thing. But yeah, it's pretty cool. If you click and hold the icon, then you just move it around. See, I can have Husky on top or PB. See, I could put PB on the bottom. They're on time.
Why do you sound like you're standing so far away?
Somebody called me. The unicorn called me, so now it muted things. Hold on, I'm gonna back out. You guys talk for a second and see if I can come back in.
Yeah, she said, well, he isn't picking up right now. I don't know if he's doing a stream or not. That's hilarious. He most definitely is doing a stream, and that's why he didn't pick up the phone. But now he jumped out of the stream so that he could pick up the phone.
Yeah, jump back in. Bitchy has no clue what's going on. She's on her way back. But
I'm still waiting for that article. It'd just be the perfect time while it's on right now, just for them to drop that motherfucker.
Yeah,
I mean,
Father Zod's got.
I mean, if you're gonna piggyback off something, I guess really the perfect time would be WrestleMania, because that's when they're really gonna be dominating all of social media, I would assume, unless something else happens on that day that is bigger. I don't know what, some national event would have to happen or some global event would have to happen.
Yeah, hopefully the
like
global
COVID-20 would have to break out.
and you know, I can't believe that I talked for 2 hours about this. Like, I'm sorry, I've got everything tagged wrong now. I'm gonna have to change the whole thing on this video.
That's fine. That's fine, Zed.
You know, it's just it's unbelievable, and I didn't plan on dedicating the stream to my uncle, but anybody from my family who watches this, Father's Odd, if you're watching this stream, we didn't plan on going for 2 hours about what happened, but it needed to be said, and it's the best way that I know how to get these things out. It helped Kai, hopefully, and I'm hoping that I could be a force of change. If my channel can reach the heights of actually getting Vincent Kennedy McMahon to notice me and going, oh, God, I know this kid. I've met this. I knew he was trouble the day I met him. You know, if I could get that voice out there and get people to, you know, there's been 30 people consistently watching. Thank you, everybody. And if I can get people to know what my uncle was like and everything, then it's the best thing that I can do, because at the end of the day, Vince is going to treat this like somebody who they think is just going to fade away and not say anything, and they're going to do their media magic, and it's all going to go away. But not this time. Not this time. I don't care how long it takes. I don't care what they say about my family personally. I don't care. I will make it my life's mission to make every living moment of Vince and Linda and Stephanie and Shane and the rest of them, Paul. I will make it my personal mission to make their lives a living hell. I will make it my life's work to make sure that they atone, and that there is justice for what's happened. I will make it my life's work to make sure that when this story breaks, I will talk to every connection I've ever made, every big streamer I've ever talked to, anybody who's got thousands of subs. I will make it my life's work to make sure that they trend this out, that they talk about this, and that my uncle's memory goes into the Twitterverse, into the YouTube, the algorithm. I will make sure that they are brought down for this. They suffer and they hurt as much as my family is hurting and as much as I am hurting. I will personally make sure that they have no comfortable rest, that they sleep very uncomfortably. GP, thank you for joining. If you don't know, my uncle passed away. It was WWE's fault. Yeah, you can replay the stream, but yeah, I will make sure that every moment they have is uncomfortable, and I will bring to light, and I will
Stop barking. He's trying to have a moment.
and the dogs will make sure too, apparently, that we get this out there, and that we let them know. All of these corporations, they're all the same, man. Every one of them, every one of these corporations are the same. they destroy everybody, and they don't care. They don't care. But yeah, so I know this has been a kind of somber stream.
Bless you.
Thank you. I know I haven't talked about what I wanted to talk about, but I do appreciate all 30 people watching and get this out there. I'm going to continuously retweet this stream, let everybody get on it. And
You share this
retweet
stream,
it out.
use the hashtag Fandom Zone with it. Make sure
Yes.
the hashtag Fandom Zone gets trending.
Yeah, we are going to make sure that all of these people that do this, that they pay and they answer for what they've done. And I'm going to personally make sure that this stream gets out to as many people as we can, that as many people can watch it, and that that my uncle will get the justice that he could not get while he was alive. And yeah, I guess let me go down the line and we'll do our outros or whatever. Let's start with you, Mr. Cybernetic Husky. What do you got for us?
Well, even though I announced it late, I've been trying to, for the past couple Fridays, I've been trying to go live around, well, the time this stream started, but I said this is more important, which it was. But I go live on Twitch. I've been currently playing Red Dead Redemption. It's taken a while, but it's a good, fun game. And then I'm getting videos back on YouTube, and they're basically whatever comes to my mind. You get to enjoy, even if it's something really, really dumb, like the most recent one.
Yeah, definitely go check out Cyber playing games. I'll tell you, I've seen a lot of gameplay videos, and none is more hilarious than Cyber playing a game, especially when he can't beat something.
Yeah, I had a trouble the other day getting my video highlighted on Twitch. I'm gonna have to figure that out, or get a live channel on YouTube quickly that I can archive everything so people could find it. But yeah, check those out.
And of course, we have for tonight, on a serious note, my best friend and co-host, but more importantly, a friend of the channel, a friend of Father Zod, and someone who's just all around a great guy. PB, go ahead and plug your channel.
Yeah, my channel's Pop Culture PB. You can follow me on Pop Culture PB, unless you're on the wrong social media, and then get off of that social media and come on my social media, and then follow me. And then, I don't know, I'm working on videos. I recorded one last night. I'm editing other ones that'll be out very soon. And also, fuck WWE.
Thank you. And Elizabeth Me, you said Zod. I don't know if I was supposed to answer something, but I do appreciate the sentiment, and yeah, I appreciate everybody who is on here tonight, who came on here, who's retweeting my posts and everything. And I just want you all to know, when I first started this, I didn't have this much support, and the fact that you all are here and listening to me and sticking with me, it means so much. I can't even tell you. I can't tell you that. I can't tell you how much this means to me. that all of you guys, especially the Glare, didn't know me from Adam, but shouted me out. Thank you, Glare. Like,
Yep.
man, thank you so much. I'm just myself, and I'm me, and I really love the fact that you guys appreciate watching that. And man, we're gonna get to 1,000. We're gonna do big things. I want to be a voice for you guys. I want to be a voice for everybody who's gone through stuff like this. I want to be a voice against this media and the way that they're destroying families and people's lives. And I want this to live on even after the whole Johnny Depp situation. I want us to be able to make some real change, because this is not going to stop. I see that now, seeing a company personally destroy me. And Wookiee Supremacy, if you don't know, my uncle passed away. You could catch the beginning of the stream. And the WWE was involved. So I just want you guys to know that I appreciate this, and hopefully everybody will follow along as I start to unravel this. And I'm going to dig deep here on my channel into the corruption and the lies that this company has been hiding for years, and lay it all out there. And even if tons of people don't see it, or maybe tons of people do, or maybe it's just this reporter. Thank you, Wookiee. Much love. Wookiee's been here for a while on my channel, but even if a lot of people don't catch this or whatever else, I am going to tell every single person I can about this. I'm going to tell every big YouTuber. I'm going to reach out to everybody who's got tons of subs, and I'm going to get that out there.
And I'm going to try to reach out to Steel Toe.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
But
I'm going to do my best and throw that shit in there in Corey Adams' Discord when it comes out. That's why I'm very on you about it, because when it comes out, I'm going to post that in there. I'm going to tag them. As if they ever talk about it on the show, I know you guys, and then if they want to talk to you directly, hopefully you guys will have to figure out the rest of how you guys can all talk, but hopefully I can get you guys all contact if that happens.
But I'm definitely, this is a cause that needs to be fought for. This is everything that everyone that I've ever talked to has been talking about. This is the injustice that's going on, and this all connects together. This is what JD has been going through. This is the media destroying people, corporations endorsing it, and sitting back silently. And I am going to make sure that all of these people pay for what they have done, and that all of them learn that they are not above the most important thing that they forget about, and that's you guys. That's the audience. That's the fans. That's the people who give the corporations their money. And in 2021, they have forgotten. They have left us all behind. And they got this mindset that they think that we don't pay for their crappy shows or their crappy movies or their crappy live events. They think that they could just treat us like garbage and expect us to shell over money. And enough is enough. And it is the time that we start showing these greedy corporate assholes with our wallets that we will not be mistreated. We will not be abused. We will not be treated like adolescent children and sit back and eat and consume their garbage and ask for more. We need to take a stand, and we need to say enough is enough. We dictate what you make, and if you don't like it, then we'll take our business somewhere else. And That's all I got for you guys tonight. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I really appreciate it. If I don't say bye to you guys, I got some phone calls to make, but just know this really helped me, and I'll go into my job with a lighter heart. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it so much, and don't feel down. I'm gonna take this and turn it into a positive, and hopefully I touch at least a couple of lives along the way. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and you guys have a wonderful night.
The darkness before we never quite saw we could